Imagine this. You are in a high stakes meeting with your C-suite or a group of top team members. The atmosphere is tense. You take a deep breath and then you throw out an idea, an outrageous, bold, challenging idea that just gets everybody to pause. It's like time has paused, has come to a stop. You can feel your heart racing and you're scanning the room and people are just looking at you. Are they stunned? Are they intrigued? Or are they ready to push back? This is the moment that separates those who reshape the future from those who stick to the status quo. And where on that spectrum are you? Today, I want to give you 2 tools that have helped me go from being a fearful person, a leader, entrepreneur, to really following my intuition and being fearless. It's about living and embracing, acknowledging the past, but not use the past and the historical data to create the future. Right now, a lot of leaders are talking about shaping the future. How can you shape the future if you don't shift the way that you think? If you don't shift your personality, because your personality is your personal reality. What if you don't shift your belief systems? How can you ever shape the future? I've been there. I've been following the gang, the buzzwords about shaping the future, but nobody told me and taught me that actually, if you want to shape the future, you have to be another version, a new version of yourself with new behaviors. Otherwise, that shaping the future is meaningless. It doesn't make any sense to talk about shaping the future if we don't shape and shift how we show up, what we think to be true. So today I want to give you these 2 tools. And if you lean in, these will help you take your conversations to a very different level. It will help you to, in that moment where you throw out that outrageous idea, because you're so bold and you follow your heart and you follow your vision and you follow your imagination, because we need to imagine things in order to create the future. If you're not bold enough and allow yourself to imagine, then you're going to recreate the past. And I'm sure that's not what you want. You want to create the future. So the question is, how do we develop our imagination? That's a good question. The way to do it is to be so intentionally focused on what you really, really want to shift, what you want to create, and what you're overly obsessed about shifting. What are those big problems in the world that you want to not only fix, but to solve? It's not about fixing, because there are a lot of leaders out there who are fixers because they haven't changed their mindset. So we want to really be so obsessed with the problems, that the real problem. And that's the first challenge. Most people are not overly obsessed about the conversation, so they do not take time to slow down and ask the real questions so that you can understand what the real problem is. That's tool number 1. Slow down and be so curious about what is the real problem. For you to be in that scene, right, where you just throw out that bold or outrageous idea, you would have to come from your vision, and you could visualize that. Imagine if we did this, then things will shift and we would help billions. So you have to connect with your vision, and you have to allow yourself to imagine, what would we do differently? What if the problem was a gift for us to think differently? In order to get there, you have to get out of your own way. Step 2, understanding and be curious about what's going on, the big problems. That's step 1. Step 2, you have to get out of your own way. Most people are not aware that they stand in their own way. What do I mean by that? It's what you tell yourself. It's how you engage in conversations. When you're in a room where you feel safe, you're you, and you are so much more creative, and it's just free flowing, right? There is no fear. But when you're in that story, I just shared with you before, in a high-stake meeting, if you have not learned to just be you attend, you observe the room, and you conform to how other people act, say, because you want to be part of the group. You want to belong to the group. It's very nature, human, that we want to be part of something bigger. But if we want to create the future, if you want to shape the future, you want to really honor that you're in that room because you want to shape, which means that you have to take your ego out of the way. That's why you get in your own way, playing small, or aggressive, overwhelmed. That's like, when you say it's okay, but when you're not okay, when it's not okay, right? You know that deep down. So get out of your own way, take ego out of your way, and show up with so much obsession to solve what's really need to be solved. That's how you shape the future. So imagine that next time you go into that meeting and you throw out that bold idea and it challenges all beliefs, right? And you just sit there. And so what? Because you thought it through. And you were so courageous to share what you could see, and you could connect the dots that no one else in that room had taken time to connect, because they're so focused on being operational. They're so focused on transactional results. But that's not how to shape the future. And that's not what you're meant for. That's not what you know deep down that you are here for. You're here to transform what to do, transform how we do business, transform how we serve patients, right? You're here for transformation. It also means that if you want to create your future or shape the future, you really have to go all in and be that fearless leader and just sit in that tension. And I've been there. I've been on my journey where both came from a point of fearfulness in my personal life and in my professional life. And I can tell you that I played small. I conformed to how other people showed up. I did not say what I wanted to say out of fear of being rejected, out of fear of people thinking, why are you even saying that? So I did not live my life full out. I did not live my career full out, because I was playing small. A lot of leaders are playing small, and I don't want that to happen for you. So what you want to do instead is really to give yourself the permission to be in that room and just be that challenge and say, this is what I see. If we do this and this and this, connect the dots that nobody else had taken time to connect. But you have to give yourself the permission to be fearless. Just be you, show up. And if people react, right? Because there's a difference between react and respond. If people react, how can you say that? That's stupid. Well, just hold the floor for them or the space for them. It's like, hey, what's going on? Right? Why are you really being triggered? I'm curious. Just imagine for a moment, if we want to shape the future, we have to really flip how we think. Otherwise, we're just going to recreate. You have to learn, and you have to be willing to be that fearless, really show up in each and every conversation, because otherwise you are attached to the result. And a lot of leaders are attached to the result. Being a leader has nothing to do with you. It's about serving those you want to serve. Be so attached to that conversation. And when you learn to show up with integrity, vulnerability, say, this is really difficult for me right now, but I just want to share this because it's something I've been sitting on for a while. It's been like in the making. And I just think that if we do this thing differently, if we think differently, then we will achieve a very different result. The problem is a gift for us to solve. It's not a problem. It's what you think about that problem. It's where we stand in our own way. That is, it's how we are to the result and not to the conversation. That is the problem. So my question to you is, are you a fixer or are you a future shaper, a future maker? It is your choice, and make the choice that set you up for success. So with this, drop in the comments below what stood out for you. Where are you getting in your own way? I would love to hear from you. I also want to hear from you what other topics you want me to address in these videos. I'm here to serve. And remember, if you want to join us in one of our free events, join us. The link is below. And also we have a free training coming up. It's actually today. Fearless and abundance. It's all about showing up. It's all about serving, allowing yourself to be you in that C-suite excuse me, in that C-suite high-stake meeting, right? Don't be fearless. It's about being also. Don't be fearful, be fearless. and we're going to tackle how you can be fearless leader, just about being you, allowing yourself. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. I love you so much. Serve. Till next. Bye for now.